don't hesitate to grab the opportunity to make it come true when it presents itself. There's no way I'm going to be insulted when I call my video channel Crippled CEO. I fantasize about acquiring specific dream coworkers. I know, that is a weird kink, but this is a judgment-free zone, okay? Plus, it's worked out pretty dang well for me. I think this unique fantasy is a big part of Lifesaver's success because time after time, I've managed to turn these fantasies into reality. But the dream had to come first. The fantasizing was a critical first step. Mostly, these fantasy people are friends of mine, specific friends. I have friends who I like to hang out with a lot, but who I wouldn't ever hire, even if you threatened to put a Scotch bonnet in my mouth. Other times, they are colleagues. This has happened so many times now that I have to recognize it as a key part of the process for making my businesses successful. Kate Mottram has been working at Lifesaver for over 11 years. She started out as an office assistant making $14 an hour, moved up to logistics manager, and is now the vice president of wholesale distribution. And even though this September will be her 12th anniversary, I wasn't envisioning her path 13 years ago. I'm not going to say that I fully predicted how far she'd come and exactly how she'd get there, but Kate and I were friends for several years before her first day at Lifesaver HQ. And at some point, I started thinking how amazing she would be and the limitless potential for her growth. I knew how great it could be for us, but also for her. And so, when she started expressing some dissatisfaction with her employer at the time, because I'd already been having this fantasy, I was immediately ready to suggest she switch to saving lives. Because I'd played it through in my mind so many times, I was confident when I told her that I thought she could be happy and do well. And 11 years later, here we are. I've known Casey Buckley since we were 3 or 4 years old. And while he was running his commercial plumbing business, I often had the thought that he would make the perfect Lifesaver pool fence dealer. It was so obvious to me. He had all the right traits and skills. So when he sold that plumbing business and was deciding what to do next, I already knew what he should do. And because I've been thinking about it for so long, I acted quickly before he went too far down another path. 10 or so years later, and Casey sells more Lifesaver pool fence than any other dealer in the world. More than the other 90 dealers in most of the major cities in the United States and in 15 other countries spanning 5 continents. When Mike and Molly McGahee lived in Chicago, I would imagine that we would be big enough one day that I could hire Mike as my right-hand man, acting as a springboard for ideas and helping me execute on all the things I wanted to do, while simultaneously tackling his own projects, and Molly as our accountant, a role we never officially had before. I literally played out this fantasy for years. One day, Mike calls and tells me that they are moving back to Florida. And when I asked him what he was going to do for work, he wasn't sure. I, however, was very sure. Just like with Casey and Kate, I laid out my vision for him. And for the last 5 years, Mike has sat next to me in my office every single day. And his wife, Molly, did eventually come on board to be our first full-time accountant, just like I had envisioned. I met Michael Dosher when he was referred to me because I needed someone to hang up TV in my living room. After that, I contracted him to start doing some projects around my house. I knew right away that he would be a great addition to our team, and just like with Mike and Kate, I wasn't quite sure exactly what he would do. I just knew that just like them, if I brought him on, good things would happen. Unlike the rest though, Dosher was really happy with his job, but you can't fight destiny or a dream. Michael Dosher is currently killing it as our operations manager. And then there's Javier. Javier was my banker for over 8 years. He was so good there that when he switched to a competing bank, I immediately switched as well without hesitation. I have never encountered someone so amazing at high-level customer service. For ages, Mike and I have discussed how incredible it would be to somehow have him work at Lifesaver in some capacity one day. When he told me that he was leaving his job and hadn't lined up the next one yet, I immediately suggested that he should join our team, even though it was in a totally different industry, and I wasn't 100% sure what his job would be, and he agreed. Just like before, I just knew that if you bring on great people, that great things happen. Since then, he has been tremendous in helping us develop and grow our franchise program. A cool thing has happened also. This practice has begun to spread. Kate was able to recruit 2 amazing people that she knew would do incredible work in a really similar fashion to how I did with the others. But there are 2 lessons here. One is having crazy dreams and fantasies about you want has a purpose. And that purpose is that you don't hesitate to grab the opportunity to make it come true when it presents itself. You don't have to stop and think about it because you've been thinking about it for a long, long time. You just get to act, and there's an advantage to being first, or at least being fast. Things are a lot easier when you're at the front of the line. The other lesson is that having a great team creates greatness. It is better to have a mediocre idea with a great team than a great team with a mediocre idea. My friend and a rock fan once said, if Jimi Hendrix wants to join your band, you find a place for him. If you have the chance to get a superstar, even if you don't have a specific role for her to fill, just hire her. Superstars will help you figure it out. It'll work out, I promise. You know who was a superstar last night? Your mom. And I'm sore today. She also subscribes to my channel and likes all my videos, and I think you should too. Thank you so much for watching, and you will see me on the next one.